right, well, I guess we'll call to order then. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so, Ms. Morgan has some warrants here that she'd like us to approve.
I just wanted to point out one warrant to the top one. It says Missoula County Juvenile Detention. We had a few students that had been detained in the detention center this past year, and one of the individuals, although he's never a student here, resides in our district, and so the law requires us to pay for their education while they're detained at the detention center, and so there have been enough days accumulated that to $90,000. So it's something we have to pay about 15.
So even though he's not, he just resides within our school
Yeah.
district?
Because the tax dollars his parents pay come to this district.
So contracted services.
But we get that in under last year's budget, right?
No,
No, it's going in under this year's
we
budget?
did not know until after the first of the
Okay.
year,
Right,
after
so-
the 1st of July, about this bill.
Warrant 5193. Are those just like for the Falcon View and the bulk mailing that we do?
Correct, yes. It needs to pay for the.
Well, it's not bad if that's for a whole year.
I don't think it's for the whole year.
Oh. It says annual permit.
Yeah, but there's some.
There's a permit in there,
permit
too.
that you pay,
Yes.
and then there's a monthly charge.
Oh,
Yeah,
Correct.
you still pay for the printing and stuff.
For the printing now.
For the actual
The
postage itself,
newsletter,
if you
I
get a
mean.
permit to be a cheaper mail rate, right?
Correct.
You get the permit, and then you have to pay for the postage
The
on top
bulk,
of that.
yeah, the bulk rate, yeah. So there's no real discount.
Yeah.
But it is probably cheaper than putting a 45 or however many, 6 or 7 or 8 cent stamp on every one, so,
That's true.
yeah. They got us coming and going, I'm sure.
And then, BAM Construction has finished the steps down to the locker room.
And you're a good job.
It looks nice. It's not totally finished off yet because on the other side of it, we have Dennis Rose that is going to do some tread work. We have some stair tread that
Oh,
we
okay.
purchased a year and a half and finish
Good
them
idea.
off. But it's really solid. And the landing in the boys' locker room area was a bit soft. It's firm now. He put some structural reinforcement underneath there and did a nice job. So,
And this is the time of year when we pay all our memberships, right?
correct.
Yeah. Which I personally think are well worth it, because I get a lot out of going to that stuff. All right, so,
I'll move to accept the warrants as presented.
Second.
all right, discussion?
Is that insurance for the whole school here, or what is that for? Physical plant?
Western States, it's the liability insurance.
Yeah, that's our liability insurance. That's a facility liability. So, in case of fire, we're covered, insuring the structure and everything with it.
Is that all, also in case somebody gets hurt?
Yeah, if there's negligence on our part, and just so you're aware on that side of it now there, we offer the students a chance to
Yeah.
take their individual insurance, and if they don't, they get hurt on our property, we're not liable for them unless it's negligent on our side. And if it's negligence on our side, then we're responsible. As you'll recall, a couple of years back, we had a lady report to a trustee that she thought a tree was damaged by some wind on our property, and that trustee never reported it to myself or anybody else, and a few months later, that tree blew over and fell through her house. This insurance covered the replacement of her home which amounted to like $70,000.
Hmm.
So, you know, that's what this insurance is.
Okay.
Okay, so any further discussion? Call for the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, good. All right, so public comment. Do we have any public comment tonight? All right, so on we go to school board training, which we tabled.
Yeah, at this
since-
time, I'd recommend that you table
Yeah,
this.
since Mr. Reynolds isn't available.
So,
So we're doing that. So now we're on to personnel and certified staff.
Well, Kayla Friedley, who worked in the elementary staff, resigned at the end of the year. We never did get that resignation letter in time for the June board meeting, but we are bringing it up now. She did not sign her contract, and so she effectively resigned. So that leaves us with that kindergarten position that is open now. So we're asked to just accept her resignation.
Also move.
Second.
Discussion? Call for the question? All those in favor?
Aye.
With her resignation, that effectively opened the kindergarten teaching position, so just to make a motion to officially open that position.
Also moved.
Second.
Discussion?
How many kindergarten teachers will we have then?
That'll put 3 kindergarten teachers and a T1 teacher.
3 kindergarten plus a T1.
Plus the kindergarten T1 combo, which is
She's-
kindergarten as well.
Well, she's
So then that would be
T1.
4, 6,
Yeah.
2, 4, 4 altogether.
Yeah, 3 in a combo.
3 and the 1, okay.
So it's really 2.5 and a 1, right? Like 2.5 and, 2.5 and a half is really what it is, right?
So you're
No,
3
we're at
all.
2.5.
So she's, so
And
what
now
position
we're-
is she filling? Didn't we have the 3?
No, she's filling a kindergarten slot for the number of students we
Okay,
expect
so
to
we
have.
have
in
3 kindergartners and the T1. So that's
Correct.
4 altogether.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so all those in favor, we have to open the position. Aye.
Aye.
So, hire a 4th grade teacher.
Okay, we conducted interviews this past month, and, you know, in the interview process, we had a bounty of good applicants. We had close to 50 applicants for the position, and out of those, we interviewed 6 individuals. Out of the 6 individuals, I'd have to say it was one of the most competitive processes that I've seen, a cup overflow with talent in this pool. In it, we were looking at the kindergarten, the 4th grade, and the 5th grade positions, and evaluating each of the individuals for those prospective positions. One of the individuals that is being recommended tonight is the 4th grade teacher, Boone Nelson, who we've hired as a head basketball coach, taught 4th grade out in Holstrip and had real good related experience to teaching. But not only does he have good related experience to the position, he also, did a really nice job in his interview. Answered the questions very well, demonstrated a knowledge of professional learning communities, of the RTI process, of the MBI process, things that we have in this building that we work with. And so we believe that Boone would be a good, solid addition to the 4th grade position. So it is the recommendation of the hiring committee to hire Boone Nelson as a 4th grade teacher for the upcoming school year.
Also move.
Second.
Discussion?
When we hire new teachers to the district, are most of them familiar with these Promethean boards?
Some are, not all of them are.
If they're not, do they have to kind of jump in during the summer and get familiar with it?
We have some training before school starts.
Okay.
We have some Promethean training coming up before school starts that they will be part of. And, in some cases, you have individuals that are pretty savvy technology-wise.
That's good. Otherwise, I'll bet the kids catch on fast to everything that you could show them.
Okay, so any further discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor of Mr. Nelson? Aye.
Aye.
The next position is a 5th grade teaching position. Here tonight is Stephen Tucker. Stephen gave us one of those interviews that we were pretty wowed by. Not only was his application and resume packet outstanding, carrying a 4.0 through college, he stepped up and basically hit the questions out of the park. We were extremely impressed with his depth of knowledge of the content of the questions we were asking. We noticed through our interview process of the 6 individuals we interviewed that there were 2 questions that seemed to trip everybody up. And in the case of Stephen, he did not slide on any of the questions. And so we were very impressed. He is new coming out of school, but we believe he's going to be a very dynamic teacher in the future. We're really excited to get him on staff. We think that he's going to have a real impact on our students in the future. So it is a strong recommendation to hire Stephen Tucker as a 5th grade teacher.
Also move.
Second.
Discussion?
Stephen, did you do your student teaching here in Montana?
I did my student teaching in Frenchtown.
Oh, Frenchtown.
And are you from around here?
I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado, but I've been living in Missoula while going to school.
Okay.
And it's my plan to stay around here, so.
Great.
You're in God's country now. Yeah. Okay.
Till the fires start.
Yeah, there you go. Any further discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Mhm.
Stephen.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Good to
welcome.
have you.
And then we have the kindergarten teaching position. One of the individuals that interviewed for the position was Tracy Rogers. Tracy is a person who has subbed in the district for the last couple of years. She subbed on a very regular basis the last 2 years. Last year when she gave an interview with us for one of the positions, she was a finalist, and there were a few things that she seemed to just kind of get tripped up on. After not getting the position, she came in and asked what it is that she had not done very well with, and we'd explained what we had seen in her interview. She went back and rededicated herself and committed herself to learning some of the things that we do here in the school, and she took a very active interest in getting in touch with teachers in the building and learning from those teachers about things like RTI, MBI, the Promethean boards, and making it a real commitment and dedication to, knowing those things that are very important and vital to what we do as educators. Without a doubt, she was an individual that all teachers were highly seeking whenever they were taking time off from work. If there was a long-term sub position, they wanted her. She's very effective with discipline, does a very nice job in that respect, is firm but yet has a very nurturing side to herself. We feel that Tracy would do a very good job in the kindergarten position, working with those teachers in that area and fit in well down there. So it is a strong recommendation to hire Tracy Rogers as a kindergarten teacher for this next school year.
Go ahead.
Also move.
Second.
All right, discussion? Call for the question? Oh, go ahead.
Is that the 4th one then, or do we still need another one?
Well, we have a librarian position that we need to fill.
I mean,
This is the one you just opened.
Yeah, this is the one. we opened the
Oh,
other night.
that's what it's open, now we're gonna fill it.
So any further discussion? Call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, good. I think that gives us a leg up to have somebody who already knows us.
Yeah.
Not that you're not gonna do great.
And then the last person that we have is, as you're aware of, we have to hire another librarian on staff. And so we put out a request for applications, and we ended up with 4 applicants for the position, which isn't unheard of given the specialty area that it is. Library is hard to fill. Not a lot of people walking around out there with library endorsement. Susan Matters was an individual that we interviewed over the phone. She was in Poland at the time, teaching in an international school. She has over 20 years of experience, but one of the things that was interesting in the interview was that the school that she worked in was heavily technology laden. They had invested very heavily in higher end educational principles for these foreign nationals that are in the military living in foreign lands. And so Susan gave an interview that really, you got one foot in a hole when you're doing a phone interview with us. It's easier to look somebody in the eye. But her related experience And then things that she talked about, her use of technology and the way that her dynamic and the expectations of what she would do in library, fit directly what we see this position doing. We see the position as more technology media oriented. Somebody who is going to be able to go into the classrooms and work with teachers and students about quality research, about how to do quality research when you're searching the internet, and what types of tools they should be using when doing a research project. So for example, if Bob Edgar is doing a world history research project on Egypt, he could have Susan come in and talk about the technology and the use of technology for going out and grabbing quality information that's going to matter and is going to make a difference in the report. And so we see her not only acting as a librarian in the library, but we also see her doing other types of skills in terms of working with the dynamic of building web pages with teachers for their classroom web pages and whatnot. She had a load of experience in that direction, and it fit very well. When spoken to about whether she wanted to accept the job, she said she couldn't until she came and saw the school, and she was here within 2 days.
From Poland?
And she walked through and she took a look at the school. She was very impressed with the computer network that we have and the programs that we're running, and she was very excited about the idea of coming back to Montana because she's originally from the Kalispell area. So she says after 20 years abroad, she'd like to come back home. And so Susan is ready to accept the position, and we see her as a strong addition to the staff also. And this helps us to meet that accreditation mark that we've had for the last couple of years about not having enough librarians in our district.
Sounds like she'd really be bringing a wealth of information to us.
Absolutely, absolutely. And she is familiar with one member on our staff already.
Oh.
Taryn Pettit was a friend of hers growing up, so she has that connection too.
And this is a lot closer to Kalispell than Poland.
It is. I love that we hire Susan Matters as a library teacher for the 13-14 school year.
I'll second.
Discussion? Call for the question? All those in favor? Aye. All right.
And then I have the resignation of Mike Townsend. Mike Townsend has been with the school district for the past 5 years as one of our custodians. When we switched over to hiring our own custodians, he was one of the initial hires. Mike is at the stage where he's retiring, and so he has approached us and said by the end of the month he wants to be retired. And he's working with the PERS system to collect what little retirement he can get from them. But he's just at a point where he's wants to scale back, things that he's doing in life. So with that, I ask that you accept his resignation and open that position so we can fill it.
Also move.
Second.
And we're doing, accepting his resignation first?
Correct, that's
Okay,
right.
all right, so, discussion, call for the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
So thank you, Mike, for all your service.
And then we ask that we open the position that he has resigned from.
Move to open a custodial position for the 2013-14 school year.
Second.
Discussion, call for the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
And then finally, we have Pat Deshane. Pat Deshane has volunteered in the football program the last couple of years, and we have a vacancy in the program, and Mr. Bearlocker and Mr. Mackey have sought replacements for that position, and so Pat is being recommended to fill the spot that was vacated by Matt Larson when he resigned his assistant coach position.
I'll move to hire Pat Duchesne as an assistant football coach for the 13th season.
Second.
Discussion?
Is it football or volleyball?
Football. Do I have volleyball?
Well, you
Yeah,
wrote
one
volleyball in
spot.
one spot, and you wrote football in another, so
Okay, I'm sorry.
we're just
It's
gonna.
football. It's football.
Okay. All right, so any further discussion? Call for the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so anything else? If not, we're adjourned. And still waiting on some of our committee dates, but
Yeah, we're still working on it.
yeah, still good on that. This is meeting 3 this week, so I think we're good, right?
Yep, we're good.
Don't have, no offense, right?
I'll have you know, my 11-year-old granddaughter in Butte, I told football camp this week.
Good for her, taking after her grandma.
Got the tackle dummies and they didn't do any contact, but she was out tackling dummies.